I'm Money. What's good, everybody? So I wanted to come in and make a video on how to avoid going to college the right way, right? AKA buying a business. I want to specifically talk to you young guys out there, you 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds, about to be on the cusp of getting out there and getting out of high school and stuff. First and foremost, college, if you guys have an idea, you know what you want to do, you're going to college, it's not a bad thing. College is good for nurses, doctors, lawyers, kinda, not really, they're kinda crazy. But if you know what you're doing, it's not a bad thing. As long as you're going for jobs that, service the debt that you're about to take on. Because, everybody starts right here. In college, you just dip down in the beginning of your life, and then you have to come back up here, hopefully with the right job that pays you enough so that you can come out of the debt that you're going to be in for a while. I understand if you have a scholarship, so if you're somebody who doesn't know exactly what you want to do, but you have a scholarship just lying right there waiting for you, they are time sensitive, so I get that, and it's free money, so I understand. So just take your time and hopefully choose the right thing. I understand that. So with that being said, not going to college is not a bad thing, guys. It's not a bad thing. So obviously that pushes you towards doing a 9-to-5. But a 9-to-5 can work in your favor. As long as you keep your focus and just keep in mind, this is, once you get into that field, what can balance you out is number one, just keeping in mind your focus, your dreams, your goals, and what you're going after, right? Throughout this time, say, I'm talking from an example of you're taking this time to go to 9-to-5 for like 4 years, for example, right? Take the time to research. Use that time to research everything that you want to do. Just research anything and everything, right? You guys gotta be masters on knowledge, because knowledge is power, right? So you want to take your time just to research everything, anything and everything. Right now we have the modern day Library of Alexandria. So that's YouTube, Google. Have it at the tip of our fingers. We don't even have to walk anywhere. Probably number one with that researching you guys gotta do is make sure you teach yourself how to budget. It's so important. You guys gotta teach yourselves how to budget. Buy Dave Ramsey. That could be a starter, but just live according to your means, guys. Live according to your means. Another important rule you guys gotta keep in mind at all times if you're going through this phase of going through a 9-to-5 is don't ever lend money. Obviously you can lend money, but don't ever lend money that you know that you'll need immediately back, and you're giving it to somebody else. Like don't ever do that. Don't ever lend money that you will need in a very upcoming future. At the very least, maybe even if you can know that you can make back the money by working really quick, and you have that long enough window to go to work for a week, and that paycheck will recompensate you for everything that you just paid. But even then, it's like just don't ever do it, guys. Just don't ever do it. It's the worst. And at the very least, write out a promissory note. At the very least, write out a promissory note, give it to the person, be like, hey, I just been taught that I always need to write out a promissory note to get my money back. Nothing against you. I'm not trying to say anything about you. Just it is what it is. Look, it's worth it, guys. It is worth it. And also another thing to keep in mind when doing a 9-to-5. I know it's frowned upon in our society, but if you can just stay home and stay with your parents for a little longer, do it. That sometimes I know that may be untenable, and obviously it's looked down upon heavily in our society for some reason. The ancient world, everybody did it back in the ancient world, I feel like. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But if that's untenable, then, roommates. Try to find roommates. And you want to have the mindset of my living cost and all the expenses, not all, but for the most part, all your expenses, try to keep it below $600, right? You gotta keep it below $600 so you can maximize all the savings that you can produce, Once again, for example, just that 4-year period, doing a 9-to-5 for a 4-year period. How much can you save in that amount of time? Just doing a 9-to-5, just living in, desperate times call for desperate measures, right? So, living with your parents and you're doing what you gotta do, you're staying in budget. Imagine what you can save. Also another thing, it's not as much as controllable as all the other things, but when you're looking for a 9-to-5, do your best to look for a small business or something that, you know, family owned, or just something that's outside of the corporate America structure. Because that corporate America, man, it's not healthy. It's not healthy, and it's very toxic, very, very toxic. So you young guys, you're not built for that. That's not that's not something you should be subjecting yourself to. You know, if you could practice all these things, putting them together, like, you could easily, in my mind, maybe not, but, you know, in my mind, you can easily rack up like $10,000, you know, just for a 4-year period, $10,000. And I'm just throwing that number out because, you know, it could be less, it could be more, but that's just a ballpark number of what you could save, you know. With that, that becomes a down payment, or the funds that you need to get started on anything you want to do. Just anything right off the bat. For starters, you know, that could be easily, well, like with real estate, for example. You may not want to use that. That's not a good down payment by any means. Real estate's kind of tough right now. That's not a good down payment by any means. But, for example, you can do a home loan program and save that $10,000 that you have already. Use that loan program, use that as the down payment. Now you have a house. Now you can get renters in there, right? And if it takes a while, you have $10,000 where that can pay for the monthly cost. That gives you 10 months to look for a renter, you know? And so you can cushion yourself. Give yourself that time so you can get renters. Now you have a rental house, rental property, and get that rental income. So right off the bat, you're, you know, a landlord, and that's not a bad thing at all. And also, you know, being landlords, you gotta pay for stuff, repairs, things of that nature. That can also be a good help, having $10,000 right off the bat just for emergency funds, for whatever may go crazy in the house and stuff. There's other things like investing. If you had $10,000, you could easily just divvy up, you know, let's say $2,000 or whatever dollars for a mentor. Do your research, guys. You know, $2,000 for a mentor, and then, you know, another portion of that for the program they have or whatever. There's many programs. These guys, if you want to be a day trader, swing trader, these guys, they all use programs. They all use programs. You can easily just save up, pay for the program, have the mentor teach you the ropes of how to invest and everything, and then use that last bit of portion that you have for capital. You just put it in the market, and now all of a sudden you're a day trader, swing trader, and you just did your due diligence. There's, you know, man, there's so many things you guys could do. There's farming. You guys could, you know, pay for different animals if you can create that kind of situation for yourself. That can cut costs for your living expenses. Gardening, you pay for all the materials and things that you need to have a garden. There's online retailing, you know, being an Amazon FBA. You can even be like a language teacher. Take your time and, you know, buy the programs or whatever, or even use that money that you saved up as a down payment for time to save up so you can learn a language and you can be a language teacher. There's plenty of ideas. This is America, and lots of opportunities. There's lots of pitfalls. Lots and lots of pitfalls, but there's also lots of opportunities. These are all just ideas from my perspective on how you can hopefully change your life around in a quick way. But most of all, most importantly, you guys, just do your due diligence. Take your time, research, research, research. Take your time. So, hopefully you can weed out any bad actors that want to prey upon you for money and things of that nature. So, this world's crazy. But with that being said, I hope this helped you guys. If it did, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment about, you know, what do you think about this idea? Is it realistic? Is it unrealistic? You know, leave a comment and let me know. So, with that being said, I'm Oni.